Good morning. Here we are with Tim again.
Yeah.
And we're going to dive more into this fishing season.
Yes, fishing season is the biggest season of the year for IT security holes. So now, the last topic we talked about the traditional phishing with emails, things to look out for, scams, that kind of stuff. And now we're going to kind of dive deeper into the new versions that they're, I guess not new versions, but new ways that they're trying to fish people, called Phishing 2.0 or
maybe it's
the buzzwords, spear phishing, I don't know, the buzzwords.
Actually, that is a thing.
Yeah.
I did see that on one of the scam things that we did with Dave once.
Okay, yep.
I don't remember what it was, but we talked about it. Anyway, sorry.
So some of the new buzzwords that they say for this season, I don't know, they say like Vishing and Smishing and whatever. You might see something like basically all it is Phishing 2.0. So what they're doing is that with Vishing, it's basically voice phishing. So we've all gotten the phone calls, or sorry, before we get into it.
Yes, I was going to say, he's going to just go right in. He's excited about this topic.
Yes. Yep, slow down.
That's okay. I'll make this fast. Just go to dstech.net and sign up for our newsletter, which is evolving and becoming more. And go to and email security@dstech.net for any of the free scans that we have available. Mm-hmm. Okay, now you can tell us
if you have any questions about what we're doing too, feel free to leave a comment or future topics, want us to go more in depth on the topic, all that kind of stuff. We're always open to suggestions and comments. So
thank you.
So going into the phishing, I guess we should go back to that. That's like the voice phishing. And usually what happens is you get the phone calls. It looks like it's a local number even. It'll have your area code, a phone number, but it's not a number in your contact list. So you answer it and it says, your warranty on your car is expired, blah, 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 or whatever, some sort of weird message, which clearly is not true. This thing's scammers. So
I've had those that claim to be the IRS.
Yeah, they'll do you were missing a late IRS thing, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, I'm going to just hang up on this call. And if you really are thinking that, get a good hold of your accountant or whoever, clearly they're going to get a hold of whoever usually did your taxes. If it was you, you're going to get some sort of official notice, not some weird spoof number usually. And don't worry, if the IRS is trying to get a hold of you, they'll get a hold of you, not through some spam call where the guy sounds like he's not even from the U.S. So that's just a couple red flags. Yeah, a couple of hints, things like that. But I've seen that too, or they say your Social Security payment is going to be late or delayed. So they trick a lot of older people who are on Social Security with retirement, things like that. A lot of the scammers are not very nice people, so they prey on people that aren't. It's not very nice. So
they they assume that they're not tech savvy and
exactly
or paying attention, right?
Yeah.
So and it's weird that they use local numbers.
Yep.
Because I've seen them on my caller ID all the time.
And then the weird thing is you'll call that number back, right? Like say I get a phone call from whatever area code in the thing. They'll call and you call it right back and it's some random dude. Some random person's like, oh, I didn't call you. Because what they're doing is they're taking real numbers that are actually working, and then they basically put a forward into themselves. They're basically like masking their phone.
Oh, no kidding! I didn't know that.
Because I've called some of those numbers back.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is I'll tell the person, like, hey, just so you know, your number was being used as a scam. And then that person can call, Verizon, AT&T, whoever owns their number and report it. And in theory, they can block that number from being used again in a future spoofing attempt. Again, you're playing whack-a-mole, obviously.
Know that.
But because I let the person know, hey, your number is being used. And maybe it's a one-off use, but that person's number could be used for 100 phone calls, and they don't even know why they're getting all these people calling them back. It's very, I've had that happen.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay.
Try calling the number back if it's a local number.
I'm going to try it. I'm curious.
Don't go through the prompts that are on there, obviously the phishing. And a lot of times those voice phishing too, they might not even say anything. You get like a weird call, you answer it, it's quiet for like 2 seconds, and then it hangs up. You're like, what was that? That was weird. Well, what's happening is a lot of these call centers that are doing malicious activity, they're trying to create a list of numbers that are working because they'll have a program in the computer that calls number, 111, 1111, 111, 1112, 111, 1113, and they're calling all these numbers really fast with robotics. And then what happens is if your phone actually answers it, like it rings once and you pick it up. And they know it's a working number. They'll save that number to the side, and then all the disconnects, whatever's. And so they're basically trying to create a list that now they'll give that list to the employees to try to call and actually fix and talk to people. And so a lot of the quick 1-seconders are bots and people just calling and spamming to see if a number works or not real quick. So the best thing you can do in that is, obviously, if you answer it, nothing you can do. And realistically, some of them, they'll still save it even if it rings. Like they'll like it ring 4 times, so it's probably a working number. They just didn't answer and they'll save it anyway. So it's not like hitting ignore is going to make it less chance of calling back. But know that that's
what if your
those
answering machine picks it up?
Yeah, same thing. It'll be saved probably, because what they're doing is they're trying to just look at, is the number working or is it not? You know, if it's
What about
disconnected or a fast busy or any weird like the old dial-up noises, you know, they're going to destroy all those numbers and they're going to keep just the numbers that have been answered, and then they're trying to create a list for their scammers.
What about the ones that only ring like once or twice and then nothing?
Same thing. It could be a smaller version of that. Either obviously someone just called you and made a mistake and hung up. But the same thing, if you look at it as, if I call a phone number and it rings twice, like legitimately ring, ring, the number's probably working, we'll stop and we'll go to the next number. Because their idea is to go through as many numbers as they can and then give a list to their employees to call. And
interesting. Now I know why.
So yeah, so basically those are illegal to have. You can't. I used to work at a call center, and we would, as a call center, you pay to get lists properly through the government, through whatever, you know, public, you know, information is traded, all that kind of stuff. But when you're using a program to try to curate a list of working numbers, you can't do that, and that's what these scammers are trying to do. With a lot of those ghost calls, things like that, they're just trying to create lists so they know what numbers are working.
This is educational. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
And I only know a lot of this because I used to work for a call center before I worked in tech. So I was always curious because I'm like, well, how are we getting these numbers? Well, you know, I was just curious as an employee, you know what I mean? Because anyway, but yeah, so that's just what I know with that. And then the other part of that, other than the voice phishing, where they're trying to get you on a list, basically to call you and harass you or whatever it is you have they call it smishing, basically just smartphone phishing. So they're trying to use a newer way of new technology to phish you, whether it's going to be a fake app in the Google App Store or their iTunes Store, as much as they say that their apps are vetted and safe. If you look at an app and it only has 200 people have downloaded the app, be very careful with that app is all I'm going to say, because chances are it's probably a fake one or it's not vetted as much, because a lot of scammers will make an app that looks the exact same as a known app. And it won't get taken down right away. And so if you look at the amount of users, like App X, this one has 1 million people downloaded it, and this one only has 10,000 people that have downloaded it. But they're both the exact same name, and they look very similar. Go with the one that has like 1 million people that have downloaded it, because chances are that's the legitimate one versus a fake spoofed one. And Google and Apple, they're always trying to clean it up. You know what I mean? It's not like there's a ton of them out there.
Right?
Yeah, it won't stay there long. When someone reports it or whatever, it'll get removed. But again, it's a whack-a-mole. I mean, they can never keep up with all the bad, malicious smartphone apps and things like that out there. So just pay attention to your smartphone apps. If they're like, oh, download this coupon app, and then you can save all this money and all these things, and it's like only 1,000 people have downloaded the app, I'd be very careful with that unless you for sure have vetted and 100% know what it is.
Is this a smishing? I got to show you.
It's probably. I mean, most of them are probably
go?
real. Or otherwise, did you get a text?
I did get a text right here.
Yeah. So this is
Don't click it.
No. Yeah, this is more similar to the last week's topic with the text messages, but it's the same thing as the emails, because now they're doing text messages instead of emails. And so, your PayPal account has been limited because we detected suspicious activity on your account. So what does that mean? Oh no, my account's compromised. You're starting to get those emotions of fear, or what's going on here with my PayPal? Is it going to miss my next auto payment? What's happening? Recover your account immediately. Click here below, and it's some weird, it looks real, but it's not. If you don't do this within 48 hours, you will get a permanent suspension. And the sense of urgency, this is a perfect example, because, and it doesn't even say, it says like X0G7UQ customer. Like if PayPal knew you, they'd be like, hi, Jenny, blah, blah, blah,
right?
blah, blah. You know what I mean? It would be a legitimate tailored message. So that's exactly is the smartphone phishing, where you're getting a text messages now with tracking, your Amazon packages due delayed because of the holiday. Click here.
Oh yeah, I got those too.
Yeah.
They're on here.
Never click through the email. If you think your PayPal is compromised, close out of that message, go on a separate computer, go to paypal.com, log in
and check
look
it
at
out.
your account. Hey, it's not compromised. I'm good to go.
I did that last week because actually it was a little bit different, and it looked a little bit more legit. The username wasn't some weird thing.
Yeah, obscure.
And it did say something. I don't remember what it said, and I was like, dude, I hope that's not real, because I just purchased.
You never know. Yeah, sometimes.
Because of holiday shopping, right?
Yep, you just
purchased a bunch of stuff, so I'm like, I did that. I used my brain
There you go.
that Tim taught me.
Yep. Settle the emotions. Let's think logically and go to here.
I went on my computer, logged into my PayPal account, and looked at the activity, and nothing was there. I'm like, okay, so that was definitely
yep, and that's the
a
perfect
smishing attempt.
Exactly, and they'll do that with Amazon too. Your Amazon package is being delayed. Update your tracking here, or blah blah blah, or we can't. Whatever the excuse is, go directly to the manufacturer or whatever website, log in how you normally log in that you know is correct, and then check your account history.
Don't click the links.
Never
Don't
click the link.
links.
Yeah, don't click the link. It could be a song. It should be like a song or a jingle, like a holiday
song.
Yeah. Up on the rooftop.
Don't click the links.
The fisherman scammed. Clicking links. You can make some jingle with whatever. Anyway, but yeah, so don't click the link is the biggest thing, whether it's a text message link. And then the applications is another. It's less likely to happen with the applications because Google's getting better and better at trying to whack out bad applications in their app store. But just be careful if you're getting a new app that seems like it's too good to be true. It probably is too good to be true. So I'm always a big fan of letting other people test the waters first, and only after it's been guaranteed and you're making sure it's not anything that's going to cause issues, then I'll kind of leap in. I don't like to be a beta tester. I guess I'll go that way.
No. Most of our techs do not. So,
but yeah, that's the smishing. Is basically the voice. They're getting your phone. They're calling
Vishing
you.
is calling you, right?
Yeah,
Smishing
voice, and the smishing
texting.
is like smartphone phishing. I guess is I don't know what So it's whether it's a text, whether it's an app, whether it's anything that can be going through your smartphone. They're using that as a medium to try to get your credentials because everything's being all more intertwined now. So a big thing too, you can help mitigate all of these things is always have two-factor enabled on all your accounts. That's where when you log in with a password, it has a second layer of protection where you have either an application on your phone with a code to type in, or the simpler ones, they'll just send you a text message, a follow-up. You have to put that text message in. So even if a scammer were to log into your email and password, unless they physically had their phone with them too, they're not going to be able to get in. So there's some, roadblocks you can put in place. And if you ever think you're phished, biggest thing, change your password immediately. And if you're available, let them know, like the FTC and the different places know what has been calling you, so they can hopefully put those numbers into a database and help prevent people from getting scammed in the future. So
perfect. So, and one more thing, the theme is the same. If there's a sense of urgency,
emotions, too good to be true,
and they're playing on your emotions, take the time.
Yes. If you're getting emotional, that's the best thing. Indication that you're being scammed. So just take a step back, look at it with clear eyes, and and don't do anything rash or click anything too quickly, because that's the number one vector where you're always going to get compromised. You click something too late.
Because no security software can protect
user error,
which is clicking on the links.
Yep, we can tell you till we're blue in the face, don't click the links, but there's always going to be someone that's still clicking the links. So until everyone is
and don't
trained,
hide it.
Yes, don't.
Right?
Yes.
We own up to it. Be honest, because then we can we can help.
Yeah, make steps to actually correct the action. If we've had it where someone might call and be like, oh, I think I clicked a link, but I'm not really sure, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if I was phished. And it's like, well, did you click the link inside the email? Yes. Okay, you clicked the link, and then we can change your password. And even if you didn't input your password on the next screen, we're going to change it just to be safe, because some of the stuff can run little scripts in the background and actually not just take your data.
We have scans.
Yes.
Don't we?
Yes, we do have a scans where we can do a free scan of your whole network and your systems to see where you might have some vulnerabilities and kind of, suggest,
if emails have been compromised that are out on the dark web, stuff like that.
Yes, we can do a dark web scan to see if your credentials are stolen, things like that, because that's a common thing where hackers will have your emails and your passwords. They're not actually going to use them to exploit it. Hackers are just trying to make money off of it. So they're selling that data to someone who will take that and then try to actually log into your emails. So you can email
security@dstech.net if you want one of those scans, or you can just visit our website and sign up for our newsletter there too. And drop your questions. Right?
Yes, and comments
because we would love to hear from you and find out what else you want to know.
What are you interested in hearing?
Right?
Every week we come up with topics we think you're good to, would be relevant, all that kind of stuff. But sometimes we may not know what everyone out there wants to hear about.
Yeah.
So feel free to ask us and we'll do our best to accommodate.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next time.